If you could only buy one light, is the new Aputure 700X the one to get? Let's find out. So if you're new here, I'm Bindra, the owner of Bindra Productions here in Orlando, Florida. I primarily do corporate, commercial, and documentary filmmaking for my own production company and as a freelancer, DP and Gaffer for others. So I wanted to bring you a review of the new Aputure STORM 700X light from a filmmaker's perspective, somebody who actually uses them in real world productions. Plus, I bought these lights with my own money. Nobody's sending anything to me, so it should hopefully be a fairly unbiased opinion. Now, if you haven't seen, go see my review on the Aputure STORM 400X that I did on my channel, because a lot of what I said applies here. And I'm going to try not go on a 20-minute rant like I did for this light, but most of what I said again applies, so I highly recommend watching that first. I want to keep this more brief, and I also want to give you the conclusion first before I speak more. Clearly, I love this light. I bought 3 of them, and they're being used already in all sorts of productions. So the light is incredible. All right. So what is the Storm 700X? It's essentially, I would call the replacement for Aputure's 600X Pro light, and this is their new Storm series. Unlike the older Lightstorm series. What does that mean? That means the new Blair engine, which means it's instead of having cool light and a warm light diode, kind of similar to what the older bicolor lights had. So essentially you would never get 100% of your light output, right? Because it's either using your cooler diodes or the warmer diodes, or it's mixing them, right, to come up with the CCT, right? So essentially here, it's combining those 5 chips, so there's not actually any white light emitters in there. It's using those color chips to build a light. It's just higher quality light, better, you get a better, more fuller spectrum. So the skin tone, the other rendition is just much better. The other advantage is it gives you limited HSI capability, as in you can go in, you can dial a certain amount of colors, but that also brings to a negative. It's amazing that a bicolor light can do colors, and it's come in handy because, again, in 2026, I don't want to own a light that does not do some kind of color, because you never know when you need to, from something basic, adjust green magenta, to something deeper where we just need to throw a light on a wall or something. I don't want to have to now go pull a new fixture, and these can absolutely do that. Because it is not their full color light, which is their Blair CG, is missing those cyan and green diodes. Essentially, this light cannot do saturated, I would say, yellows, greens, cyans, maybe even a deeper blue. It can't do that, but most of the other, about 60% spectrum, it can do that just fine. And for most use cases, I've not run into an issue where, where this wasn't enough where we needed to throw a certain color. Obviously, if you're doing something deeper, you need more saturated colors. You have their 1000C or the incredible ADCs to pick from. So the other thing it adds is, obviously, it has built-in CRMX. It has weather resistance. It's IP65 rated. It also has the Pro Bones mount, which is incredible. You won't believe how many times I brought the 600X Pro, and the team or the crew I would have, they would mount the light to the stand first, and then try to mount the like a softbox or something on it, and it's just a hassle. Again, is it a deal breaker? No, we dealt with it for years, but this Pro lock is pretty much like a PL mount lock if you're a camera person. Very similar to that, but essentially makes it very easy to mount your modifier. So I love that. Now, most of my lights that I have, from the ADC to the 1200X, they all kind of have this light, so I'm really happy about it. It just makes it so much more convenient to mount like some kind of modifier on your light when it can already be mounted on a stand, or just to swap them out. Sometimes we're like, let's take the Fresnel off, put this dome on, or whatever it may be. It just makes it easier. The other thing that was a negative on the 400X, what I didn't like, is they were advertising this light as weather resistant as well. But if you saw in my other review, I really didn't like that they were putting underneath the ballast that the light should be used in dry locations only. And I don't like that when companies market a product one way, but then to cover their butt, they're doing, they're writing other things. So if you do get it wet, it stops working, they'll have an excuse to get out of it, right? They fixed that, so the ballast underneath it does not say for dry location use only on the new 700X. It clearly, says IP65, so which is great. Again, functionally, hopefully, is not different than the 400X, but at least they're not, putting that for dry location use only on that, which again, I think is just a welcome addition. One of the other things that I don't like that, obviously I get it, 700 watts, it's probably pulling closer to 800, 850 watts off the wall. So it's clearly cannot be run off most batteries. I get it. Plus, we love those EcoFlow and Blue Eddy type of batteries anyway to run these off of. I do still think not giving you battery options on the control box is such a negative compared to the older light, because believe it or not, they can easily restrict, like they did on the 400X in the menu, that you can only run the light up to a certain percentage. So you could use your smaller batteries and still get some output out of your light instead of just completely being out of options if you don't have another, let's say, power option, right? Another thing that we really used a lot on set that I never thought initially before acquiring these lights that we would, there'd be so many times camera department or other departments where we would have just V-mounts die. You could actually put your V-mounts onto the control box here in the ballast, and it would actually act as a charger for your V-mounts while it was plugged in. And that actually came in very handy on set. So I'm definitely gonna miss that functionality that's not even present at all here. The other thing I want you to be fully aware before you do any kind of photometrics or any kind of measurement on this light, they're shipping it in constant light output mode. I don't know why they wouldn't already ship it in max output. So make sure, unless you need the constant output mode, you go in the menu and change it to max output so you're getting the maximum readings from your light, because otherwise it may not look as bright as what it can go. Now I want to talk about why I love this light more than the 400X, because if you watched my 400X review again, one of my biggest complaints about these lights is what the Aputure is trying to do is reduce the beam angle, which essentially makes the light appear brighter, easier to sell, right? In photometrics, obviously there's an advantage to it. When you use their Fresnel, it does make it more efficient, but anytime you're trying to light, let's say, a big diffusion rag or a softbox, having a narrower beam angle can be an issue because you may have to go either further back or you just can't fill it in fully, right? And I had the massive issue with this because one of my favorite softboxes to use when I do use one is the Aputure's Light Dome 150. And also just in general, whenever I was trying to fill a frame, I needed at least 2 of these because it just was not wide enough to fill, let's say, an 8x8 or something like that. Now, my favorite thing about this Aputure 700X is even though it is still a narrower beam angle and a very similar beam angle, it is filling in the Light Dome 150 perfectly. And actually, surprisingly, it is only losing about 10% of output on the edges, which is very similar to the result I was getting with the Aputure 600X. And actually, funny enough, I lose about 15% output. Somehow, this is coming in really strong on the Light Dome 150. And on output metrics, I'm getting it over 35% brighter through the Light Dome 150. And this is with the thicker diffusion that comes with it, the Magic Cloth one. That's the one I like. So I don't know how the results would be with a thinner one. It may not spread it as evenly. But with the thicker one, my preferred choice on the Aputure's modifiers, this is spreading it really well. And it is actually giving us 35% more output, which is incredible, I think. The other thing I want to talk about is the included hyperreflector. Again, not to go in a rant, I hate these things because they are just not even. And again, same thing with this, it's a 35-degree reflector. I mean, you could use it, but ideally you'd want to use their Fresnel because this thing loses over 50% of its brightness, right, on the edges. So it's not even at all, just like the issue we've had with other hyperreflectors. Initially, I was excited because it was a different design that hopefully they fixed it, but in my measurements, it's not, so I would just completely avoid it. And the other negative at Aputure, they can't seem to ship and make things fast enough. They seem to be incredibly popular. One of the things I didn't like about the Storm 400X, if you watch that review, I just complained that my Fresnels weren't here and I didn't want to use the reflector, right? But they finally did come in, right? And the performance is incredible. So same thing, big negative here. Storm 700Xs use the new CF10 Fresnels. Of course, they're not here. I have the lights. I don't want to use those reflectors. So until those come in, these lights are, not going to be as effective for me. I don't want to complain too much because, again, Aputure does obviously eventually end up shipping everything. It's just an issue. If today you go try to buy stuff, you don't know when it's coming in. So that can be an issue when you're trying to run, professional production. You can't just wait on products to ship 3, 4, 5 months later whenever Aputure can seem to get them in stock. In the last few years, anytime I had to pull a light and I wasn't given too much information, I was always pulling the Aputure 600X Pro. Actually, to the point I used and loved the light so much, I always kept one on my camera card so we didn't have to go and run to the truck because I knew I was always going to be pulling one of these lights. So clearly has made me a ton of money and I love this light. But I have been itching for a while to replace that light on the card, the first light I pull. And I had initially thought, because Aputure was advertising this light to be as bright as the 600X, that this would be the light. Clearly is not. I love the 400Xs. We use them a lot, but it's clearly not a replacement for 600X. But finally, it's here. The Storm 700X is definitely going to replace my 600X Pro and even actually the 600D Pros. So I'm definitely going to be getting rid of those. And as you see, obviously, I got 3 of them. They're for sure going to be used a lot in my upcoming productions, and I'm pretty sure I'll get an ROI very fast out of them. Though I want everyone to be aware, you don't have to go immediately sell your 600Xs Pro, because the 400X was a huge upgrade to the 300Xs and 300Ds because they didn't have an IP rating, right? They didn't have wireless CRMX and all these new features that this brought. So it was a huge, massive upgrade. But the thing is, the 600X is still an incredible light. It has the wireless CRMX, it has the IP rating, it even has that battery charging, which the new one doesn't have. So yes, is this light an incredible upgrade? Yes, the color spectrum, all these new features, such as everything being located on top of the control box, for the Prologue Bowens mount, the cables being made of rubber. I mean, everything is freaking incredible. However, I don't think it's such a massive upgrade that you have to go sell your 600X Pros. Even up until a month ago, this was my first my first light that I would pull and use. So it's been obviously incredible for my company. I made the revenue back like 10x easily, if not more, in the few years I've owned this light. So I don't think you need to go immediately go sell your 600Xs if it's working perfectly for you. However, I did run into issues a lot of times where, we do these corporate interviews. I'm in Florida, it's extremely sunny, and this light just was not bright enough. And then we'd have to pull, bigger lights. And before the 1200X was there, all the Aputure lights were daylight only. And, we definitely need bicolor lights minimum. And there was nothing better available. Obviously, ever since 1200X came, that's been my choice during those scenarios. But I wanted something smaller, something that was more portable. And clearly, this was not it. But this is definitely it. So this is going to be my favorite light going forward. It's already replaced the 600X on the camera card. And I'm really excited. The past few weeks, I've literally put this to its paces. I've had no issues. The DMX, everything's been working really good on it. If you're only buying one light, you absolutely have to buy this over the 400X. Again, in an ideal scenario, you want to have various fixtures, obviously not just one fixture, and this plays an incredible part in your lineup. But again, if you could only buy one, I would buy this because it gets so much more output, but then it can dim down where, there's no reason where this wouldn't do what this can do, right? That in the past, that was the biggest issue with not having, why you needed to have smaller fixtures, because what if you wanted to go really, really low, especially with these new cameras that are very sensitive. But now that these lights can go really, really low in brightness, I think, again, if you're buying just one, buy this. But I love where Aputure has come. I think the lineup is complete for me. I'm extremely happy with the ADCs, now the 400Xs, the 700Xs, then the 1200X. I think the lineup is complete. I'm very happy with what they're offering. I don't think there's even any gaps here, right? And you can even go as high as XT52 if you need even brighter. I do think they're now lacking in color fixtures, because as I said, it's incredible that these lights can do limited color, but they can't do those saturated green cyans and even a really nice yellow. And if you do need those colors, you have to get a color fixture, but the range is very limited, right? You have the 80C and then the 1000C. There's nothing in between. I do think in the future, Aputure needs to make this into like a 600C and a 300C, and I think that would complete the lineup. I don't think I would be acquiring the 300C if those are launched, but I definitely would love to get a couple of 600Cs to just complete my lineup, and I think I'm going to be very happy with those to do the type of projects that I do. Now, not a lot of you may think, oh, the Amaran 660 could actually replace any incoming 600Cs. Again, not the same light engine. I haven't received those, but I am going to get a couple of those. But the thing is, these are more in a professional use environment, right? Where I have crews using these. These can get rented out. This is made of, metal. This is solid stuff. This is not going anywhere. The Amaran stuff is made of, plastic. It's not going to be obviously as reliable. It's not the same type of color engine. And I will do a review obviously once they come in. But I think those lights are intended for if you're like a videographer, right? Like you operate your own lights, then you can baby them, right? Then of course get those. That makes way more sense. They even have the controller and the power supply kind of built in. I think for smaller one-man band people who are just, working in those smaller crews, that may be the light to get, because especially if you can, like I said, baby it and protect it from breaking. But it won't last in type of environments that I'm usually in versus this light would. So I still do think there's definitely a market for a 600C in the Storm lineup that can replace the aging Lightstorm 600C2 that they currently have. But overall, final conclusions, I love this light. I highly recommend, if you're thinking about buying a light, this is definitely the light to get. And I think it's going to be my most used lights going forward in the next few years. I'm looking forward to using it and putting in more productions. I just hope, again, Aputure fixes their thing. They can pick up their production. They can actually launch things together, and in time they can fix their serviceability, because since last time I did the review on this, I've had to reach out to Aputure for other products and the customer service has just been horrible. And when you're buying professional products that you're using in real world productions, you just don't want that to happen, right? So Aputure still has a long way to go as a brand, but right now them along with Nanlite and Godox are just killing in the market. The traditional brands need to definitely step up their game if they want to even have a chance of competing with these new companies. But for me, on the corporate side, on the documentary side, Aputure is the name that people ask for. They want them by name, and it's going to continue to make me money for the foreseeable future. But until then, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.